Hi everyone, and welcome to Kuiper Labs. We're going to be talking about introducing our concept of energy, or the topic of energy. And we're going to start off by thinking about what we call the types of energy that we would encounter. Okay, so we're going to start general and then start to come up with some more specific examples, just to refresh your memory or to kind of dig a bit deeper into something you may already know something about. Alright, let's begin. Okay, so we're starting with this concept that we call energy. Now, I understand that sometimes this concept of energy can be a hard one to pin down, exactly kind of what energy is and how we as scientists use that word, and how, it can also be a difficult thing to explain. So you'll just have to bear with me as best you can as we work through this topic and as we kick things off. Okay, but so the first thing that we kind of do, if we're gonna take this concept of energy and break it into kind of two main categories, okay, and then we're going to kind of elaborate on each. Okay, so we talk about kinetic energy, and then we talk about potential energy. Okay, there are two kind of broad categories. Now we'll go through how each of these kind of relates in turn. Okay, but so essentially, when we're thinking about kinetic energy, we're thinking about movement specifically. Okay, and so that comes up in lots of different contexts, lots of different situations that you might encounter in everyday life, and we'll go through some of those in a sec. But that's kind of the gist of it. And then when we're talking about potential energy, that's where we're starting to think about what can happen, okay, or what we can do, well, how we can use it, how it can be used, how it can become something else. Because what we're going to look at in this topic is the fact that that energy isn't this static thing that just, okay, well, it has this energy and that's it. That it's actually energy that it can change forms, or it can kind of move from between objects, it can transfer in different ways, it can be used, and it can be lost in that is to say, it's not destroyed, but it's not being used in a useful purpose. And so, yeah, so we're going to kind of go through these in turn. So let's start. Let's kind of get rid of this. And then we're going to let's talk about kinetic. Okay, so remember, so there we're thinking about movement or motion. Okay, so motion being the slightly more scientific kind of physics sort of term for when something is moving. Okay, so we're thinking that there's heaps of examples that we can list. I'll give you a couple. Okay, of where kinetic energy is happening. All right. So we've got a speeding car has kinetic energy, okay, because it's moving and it moves at a certain speed. We might talk about a bullet. Maybe we might be thinking about a cricket ball in the air. We might be talking about a plane, or as it flies. Now, the key thing there, the reason that I'm saying as it flies, is that the plane sitting on the ground, you know, like on the tarmac, doesn't have kinetic energy. It's not moving, okay? But the plane, as it's moving, does have kinetic energy, okay? So, and then same sort of thing. The bird, as it flies, has kinetic energy, okay? And so, now what it relates to, just in very general terms, it relates the amount of kinetic energy. So the amount comes from how much mass something has. You know, like how big is that object? Is it a little bullet? Is it a massive car? Is it a train or plane, a bird or whatever? Superman. Okay, and then also how fast is it going? The faster it's going, or its speed. The technical word that we would use is velocity. So I'll just put that in brackets underneath so that we can start to build our vocabulary here. Okay, so it relates to, all right, well, how big is it and how fast is it going? and we can relate those in maths terms. We can actually start to work out the amounts of energy in moving things using these concepts. We're not going to go that far, and certainly not at this stage, but that's just to kind of tell you that this can happen. All right. Now we're going to start to talk about potential energy. Okay, so now the thing is that potential, just like where we originally kind of divided it up, potential can come in many different categories as well. So we're going to kind of list those out. So they're kind of like subgroups, if you like. Okay, so and then I'll give you an example of each. Okay, so we've got chemical potential energy. So we're talking about, e.g., inside a battery, or maybe in food that we eat. Okay, so we eat food as a source of energy. That's why you feel hungry in the morning. You need breakfast. You eat it. You feel better. It gives you energy that you can use, that your body can makes the most of. Okay, it has chemical potential energy. All right, so we then have, so let's pick another type. We've got electrical potential energy. So e.g. static electricity or static charge. Okay, or maybe we're talking about in a circuit, an electric circuit. We're going to go through, what electric circuits are in this topic. Okay, we've got another type called gravitational. It's a long word, but so where we're thinking about a ball about to drop. Okay, so if you're holding it in the air but you're not letting it go yet, it has gravitational potential energy. If you let it go, it will move, which is why we talk about it as potential. It has the ability to move and change things as it goes. Okay, so we got chemical, we've got electrical, we've got gravitational. All right, let's see if I can squeeze another one down here. We've got elastic potential. So we're talking about, e.g., a rubber band. Yeah, it's in danger of you not being able to see it. Okay, so I won't go any further. So elastic potential, the rubber band, as it's stretched. So you stretch it back, and then if you let it go, it's certainly going to fly. It's either going to move off in the air somewhere else, or it's going to hit you in the face and hurt like nothing else, or whatever. Okay, it's got elastic potential energy. Okay, there's heaps of other examples that we could come up with, and some more kind of specifics that we could talk about. But this is just to kind of give you a bit of an overview of how these different types of energy kind of compare with each other, and some examples in everyday life that you might have come across. Alright, so I hope that helps to clear things up a little bit. If you've got any questions, just let me know. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye for now.